Step into the unknown with the shadow frequency and your host, Matt Wilson, as he takes you where the shadows hum.
Welcome, listeners, to another chilling dive into the unknown on the shadow frequency. I'm Juniper, your trusty producer, and tonight I'm rifling through the archives in our creaky old file cabinet. Let's open up the drawer here, look in the side here for tonight. Goodness great. What is that, a pizza roll?
Oh, I was eating some pizza rolls over there earlier. Hey, toss that over here.
Here you go. What a state. Okay, here it is, episode 175's file, practically glowing with eerie vibes. It's labeled Ghost Rockets Time's Phantom Probes. Sounds like something that could zip right out of the Twilight Zone, doesn't it, Matt?
Oh, Juniper, you're not wrong. This one's got my spine tingling already. Ghost rockets over Sweden in 1946. Mysterious missile-shaped objects streaking through the sky, maybe spying on us from another time. I'm ready to unravel this paranormal puzzle.
I bet our listeners are too. Buckle up for a wild ride into the unknown, folks. Matt, take it away and plunge us into the shadows.
Welcome back to the Shadow Frequency, where we chase the strange and unearth the unearthly. A little dark in here again tonight, Juniper. Let me flip the switch. There we go. Tonight we're stepping into 1946 Sweden, where the skies were alive with something not of this world, or maybe not of this time. Picture this. It's just after World War II, the world's still reeling, and suddenly mysterious objects start zipping across Scandinavian skies. They're called ghost rockets, and they're not your average shooting stars. These are rocket or missile-shaped phantoms, sometimes winged, sometimes cigar-shaped, moving with purpose, leaving witnesses awestruck and terrified. The first sighting hit on February 26, 1946 in Finland. Observers reported a blazing light tearing across the sky, trailed by smoke, with a thunderous rumble that shook the night. By summer, Sweden was buzzing with reports, around 2,000 sightings logged between May and December, with hotspots on August 9th and 11th. These weren't just fleeting glimpses. 200 of these sightings were backed by radar, hard evidence of something out there. Witnesses described objects moving at incredible speeds, some clocked at over 400 miles per hour, diving, rolling, even turning back on their paths, maneuvers no meteor could pull off. Take the night of June 9, 1946, over Helsinki. A bright light streaked through the sky, its luminous trail lingering for 10 minutes. The next night, it returned, but this time it turned around and shot back where it came from. Natural phenomenon? I don't think so. Then there's the infamous crash at Lake Comiev on July 19th. A gray rocket-shaped object with wings slammed into the lake, sending up a massive splash and a thunderclap that echoed for miles. Witnesses swore it skidded across the water before sinking into the depths. The Swedish military sent divers in, but all they found were craters and torn-up plants. No wreckage, no answers. Here's where it gets weirder. These ghost rockets didn't just vanish into thin air. They seemed to defy the physics of 1946. Some moved slowly, almost hovering. Others flew in formation, silent as ghosts. No exhaust trails, no engine roar, just a hissing or rumbling sound, like whispers from another dimension. And here's the kicker. Some researchers believe these weren't Soviet missiles or secret tech, but time-displaced surveillance drones. Imagine drones from a future civilization, slipping through the temporal rifts to observe 1946 Earth. Why Sweden? Maybe it's a temporal hotspot, a place where time's fabric is thin, letting these probes slip through to watch us, record us, and then vanish back to their own era. The Swedish military was spooked enough to clamp down on reports. They ordered newspapers not to publish exact locations or flight paths, fearing these objects were gathering intel. But intel for who? Or when? The idea of time probes explains the lack of wreckage. Maybe they're designed to self-destruct or phase out of our timeline. Picture it. A future tech so advanced it leaves no trace, watching us like we're ants under a cosmic microscope. Let's pause there for a moment. Juniper, this is getting wild. What do you think about these time-traveling drones?
Matt, my mind's spinning.
Yeah.
Time probe zipping through 1946 Sweden. It's like the universe is playing hide and seek with us.
Right.
I'm picturing these eerie rockets washing from the shadows, recording every move. That's creepy stuff.
Creepy doesn't even cover it.
Right.
Let's take a quick break, and when we're back, we'll dig deeper into these phantom probes. Juniper, over to you.
Wow, listeners, how's that for a spine chiller? Ghost rockets as time-displaced drones? I bet you're all wondering what those things were really up to in 1946. Are we being watched across time? Hold that thought. Coming up, we'll explore more of this mystery and even toss in a skeptical angle to keep things balanced. More enjoying the conversation? You can drop us a line at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. Right now, though, going to hand it over to Chris Beach. He's going to tell you where you can catch the shadow frequency.
Cheers, Juniper. If the shadows have drawn you in, stay a while. Hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, or wherever you tune in to your favorite podcasts. Dive deeper at shadowfrequencypodcast.com. There, you can explore our complete episode archive, check out our Shadow blog for deeper dives into each case, snag some exclusive merch, or even help support the show by buying us a coffee. And here's something fun. Leave us a voicemail on the site and tell us where in the world you're listening from. You just might hear yourself on the next episode. Take it away, Juniper.
Thanks, Chris. Now it's time for our mailbag segment. I'm firing up the spectral message materializer here. Let me flip these ghostly switches here. Crank this eerie dial. Dooey-dooey-doo. Here comes today's listener message straight from the void. Just open this up here. All right. Listeners, we got a gem of a message tonight. This one's from Lexi in Rapid City, South Dakota. She writes, I'm obsessed with the shadow frequency. I listen while driving those long, lonely stretches between towns out here in South Dakota. Especially at night when the roads are empty and the stars are blazing, your creepy tales are the perfect companion for those eerie drives. Thanks for the chills and deep dives into the unknown. You've got a listener for life. Stay spooky, Lexi, or Rapid City. Oh, Lexi, you're out there cruising under those starry skies with our creepy stories. That's the spirit. I can just imagine you driving through the Dakota darkness, ghost rockets lighting up your imagination. Keep those spooky vibes rolling, and thanks for being a part of our shadowy crew. Listeners, if you want to share your own eerie thoughts, you can send them to shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. All right, Matt, take us back into the mystery.
Welcome back to the Shadow Frequency, where we're chasing the spectral trails of 1946 ghost rockets. We've been exploring the idea that these mysterious objects might be time-displaced surveillance drones, slipping through temporal cracks to observe post-war Earth. Let's dive deeper into the evidence and the chilling possibilities. By August 1946, the sightings were so intense that even U.S. officials took notice. General Jimmy Doolittle and General David Sarnoff, big names in aviation and tech, showed up in Stockholm officially on private business. But the Swedish defense staff was eager to share reports, and Sarnoff later said he was convinced these were real missiles. The Swedish military documented nearly 100 impacts, with 30 pieces of debris examined by their National Defense Research Institute. Here's the twist. Those fragments were later called meteorite shards. But if these were just meteors, why the radar hits? Why the reports of maneuverability, like objects flying in formation or skidding across lakes? One witness, a Swedish Air Force pilot, chased a ghost rocket in his bomber but couldn't keep up. He described a torpedo-shaped object with no wings, no exhaust, just pure speed and silence. Another case in Oslo saw a lighted object move in a straight line, vanishing in under a minute. These behaviors scream intention, not random space rocks. If these are time probes, maybe they're programmed to evade capture, phasing out when pursued or crashing into lakes to erase evidence. The lack of wreckage could mean they're built to dissolve or return to their own time. Now let's consider a skeptical angle. Some investigators, including Swedish, British, and U.S. officials, suggested these sightings were mass hysteria, fueled by Cold War paranoia. After World War II, everyone was on edge, expecting Soviet missile tests with captured German V-1 or V-2 tech. Maybe people saw contrails from high-altitude planes, like B-29s, and mistook them for rockets. The timing fits. Jets were new and contrails weren't a familiar sight, but this doesn't explain the radar data or the precise maneuvers reported by trained observers like pilots. Still, it's worth noting that fear can amplify perception, turning lights in the sky into something more sinister. Whether they were future tech or something else entirely, the ghost rockets left a mark. Reports spread beyond Scandinavia to Greece, Portugal, and Italy, suggesting a global phenomenon. Were these probes studying a world on the brink of the Cold War? Or something stranger, something we're not ready to understand? The truth is still out there, lurking in the shadows of time. Juniper, what's your take on this? Time probes or Cold War jitters?
Matt, I'm leaning toward time probes. Those maneuvers are too freaky for just hysteria.
Right.
But that skeptic angle makes you wonder if fear might have painted some of those lights in the sky. This one's going to haunt me tonight.
It's haunting me too, all right. Juniper, wrap us up with those spooky vibes.
That's a wrap on episode 175 of The Shadow Frequency. We dove deep into the 1946 ghost rockets, mysterious objects that might just be time-displaced drones spying on our past. From light crashes to radar hits, this mystery keeps us guessing. Are we being watched across time? Send your thoughts to shadowpodcast@protonmail.com, or you can hit us up on Facebook. Matt, any last spooky words?
Stay curious and keep looking up.
You heard them, listeners. Stay spooky, stay curious, and we'll catch you next time on The Shadow Frequency. Good night from the shadows.
This episode was produced with a commitment to exploring the unexplained while grounding our discussion in documented discoveries. All interpretations are speculative and intended for entertainment purposes.